Good evening, I'm Maham Tawa with the news-making headlines around the world. His Highness the Emir receives the newly appointed Minister Ahmed Khalid Al-Jassar, who is sworn in as Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water. First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister holds a video conference with Kuwait's Chief of Mission on the continent on boosting ties with Europe. At least 7 foreign tourists and a Tunisian are killed after gunmen targeted a museum in the Tunisian capital. And Iraqi soldiers and militias are fighting to retake Tikrit city from the so-called Islamic State group as more efforts are exerted to retake Mosul. In our first item, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir also received His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Emir then received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Sabah Al-Khalid Al-Hamad Al-Sabah. His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this morning at Bayan Palace in the presence of His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, His Highness Sheikh Jabir Al-Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, the Prime Minister, who introduced the newly appointed Minister Ahmed Khalid Ahmed Al-Jassar, who was sworn in as Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water. The swearing-in ceremony was attended by the Deputy Minister of the Emiri Diwan Affairs Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al-Sabah, Director of His Highness the Emir's Bureau Ahmed Fahd Al-Fahd, and the head of the Emiri Protocol, Sheikh Khalid Al-Abdallah Sabah Al-Nasir Al-Sabah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقسم بالله العظيم أن أكون مخلصا للوطن وللأمير، وأن أحترم الدستور وقوانين الدولة، وأذود عن حريات الشعب ومصالحه وأمواله، وأؤدي أعمالي بالأمانة والصدق.
His Highness the Emir Sheikh Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah received this afternoon at Bayan Palace their Royal Highnesses Prince of the Kingdom of Bhutan, Princess Shimi Yangzum Wangchuk, Princess Sonam Deshan Wangchuk, Princess Deshan Yangzum Wangchuk, and Princess Kesang Shodan Wangchuk on the occasion of their visit to the country. The meeting was attended by the Deputy Minister of the Emiri Diwan Affairs Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al-Sabah. A decree has been issued appointing Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water. The decree said, after perusal of the Decree number 212 for the year 2013 on the formation of the government and the following decrees which amended it, and after the presentation conducted by the Prime Minister, we decree the following. Article number 1, Ahmed Khalid Ahmed Al-Jassar is hereby appointed as Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water. Article number 2, the Prime Minister shall relay this decree to the National Assembly and it will go into effect as of the date of its issuance. Emir of Kuwait Sabah Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, Prime Minister Jabir Mubarak Al-Hamad Al-Sabah, issued at the Sif Palace on the 27th Jamada the 1st, 1436 Hijri, corresponding to the 18th of March 2015. His Highness the Crown Prince Sheikh Nawaf Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Subah received this morning at Bayan Palace His Highness Sheikh Jaber Al Mubarak Al Hamad Al Subah, the Prime Minister. His Highness the Crown Prince also received the First Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Sheikh Subah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Subah. His Highness the Crown Prince then received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Interior Sheikh Mohammed Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Subah. His Highness the Crown Prince later received the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defense Sheikh Khalid Al Jarrah Al Subah. National Assembly Speaker Marzouk Ali Al Ghanem received in his office today the newly appointed Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water, Ahmed Khalid Al Jassar. Al Ghanem wished the new minister, who was sworn in before His Highness the Emir Sheikh Subah Al Ahmed Al Jaber Al Subah earlier in the day, best wishes and success in his post to achieve interests of both citizens and the country, commending at the same time the role and efforts exerted by the resigned Minister Abdulaziz Al Ibrahim during his term in office. The First Deputy Premier and Minister of Foreign Affairs Sheikh Subah Al Khalid Al Hamad Al Subah held a video conference today with the heads of Kuwait diplomatic missions in the European continent. Discussion during the conference covered Kuwait's diplomatic events and the latest developments at the regional and international arenas. Taking part in the video conference were the Foreign Undersecretary Khalid Sleiman Al Jarallah, the Director of Europe Department Ambassador Walid Al Khbaisi, Director of the First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister's Office Department Ambassador Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasser Al Mohammed, Director of the Foreign Undersecretary's Office Ambassador Ayham Al Amar, and Deputy Director of the First Deputy Premier and Minister's Office Ambassador Saleh Al Loghani, and other Foreign Ministry officials. His Excellency the Deputy Premier and Minister of Defense Sheikh Khalid Al Jarrah Al Subah inspected today the military exercise Eagles Resolve 2015, which is being carried out by Kuwait's Army along with the Ministry of Interior, the National Guard and the Fire Public Directorate, beside a number of military and civil experts from different governmental sectors. Forces from 29 brotherly and friendly countries are also taking part in this exercise. The Deputy Premier and Minister of Defense was welcomed upon arrival by the exercise manager, Major General Ahmed Al-Amiri, and the coordinator, Brigadier Mohammed Abdullah Al-Kendari, beside heads of participating missions. He was briefed on the war maneuvers progress and expressed his pleasure and satisfaction over the military exercise. The Army Chief of Staff Lieutenant Mohammed Khalid Al-Khudr and his Deputy Lieutenant General Abdullah Nawaf Al Subah and a number of senior Army commanders accompanied the Deputy Premier and Minister of Defense during his visit. Minister of Information and Minister of State for Youth Affairs Sheikh Salman Lahmoud Al Subah met today with the Minister of Youth and Sports in the Republic of Iraq, Abd Al Hussein Eitan. The two ministers discussed relations between the two countries in the fields of youth and sports and ways to enhance them. The Anti-Corruption Public Authority held a workshop today at the Amiri Net at Bayan Palace for the leading officials at the Amiri Diwan. The workshop was attended by the Deputy Minister of the Amiri Diwan Affairs, Sheikh Ali Jarrah Al Subah, and senior officials at the Amiri Diwan. The State of Kuwait strongly denounced the statements made by the Foreign Minister of the Kingdom of Sweden against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. An official source of Kuwait Ministry of Foreign Affairs described the statement as a flagrant interference in the internal affairs of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and a clear offense against its judiciary system, which contradicts with the international law that calls for non-interference in the domestic affairs of other countries. It also runs against the diplomatic norms which respect sovereignty of other states. The source said, Kuwait stands beside the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and upholds the principle that any intervention in the domestic affairs of a GCC member is considered as interference in the domestic affairs of all other members. Gunmen in military uniforms attacked an art museum in downtown Tunis today, killing 8 people and taking several other hostages. Officials said at least 6 more people were injured, while about 200 other people who were at the museum at the time of the attack reportedly managed to escape the scene. Early reports said that those killed included 7 foreign visitors and 1 Tunisian. The identity and motivation of the attackers were not immediately clear. The attack came a day after Tunisian security officials confirmed the death in neighboring Libya of a leading suspect in Tunisian terror attacks and the killings of 2 opposition figures in Tunisia. Iraq's Defense Minister Khalid al-Abaidi said today that Anbar province is key to launching the long-awaited operation to retake the city of Mosul from the so-called Islamic State group. Al-Abaidi's remarks reflected the challenges Iraqi forces backed by US-led coalition airstrikes face as they try to claw back territory captured by the IS militants. At the moment, Iraqi soldiers and allied militias are fighting to retake the city of Tikrit, which is viewed by Iraqi forces as key to opening a strategic corridor that leads to Mosul from one direction. US officials said that there would likely be a spring offensive to reclaim Mosul, but Iraqi officials have backed away from setting a timeline. The main Western-backed Syrian opposition group called on the United Nations to send a fact-finding mission to investigate an alleged poison gas attack on a rebel-held town. The Syrian National Coalition and activists inside Syria said that the government carried out a chlorine gas attack on the town of Sarmin in northwestern Syria late Monday, killing 6 people and leaving dozens more struggling to breathe. As the Syrian authorities denied the allegations, Coalition Vice President Hisham Marwa called for an on-site UN investigation as soon as possible. He also demanded the Security Council enforce a recent resolution that condemns the use of toxic chemicals such as chlorine in Syria and threatens military action in case of violations. United Nations Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon called for international help in gaining access to regions of Libya held by the so-called Islamic State group. After a meeting with Italian Foreign Minister Paolo Gentiloni in Rome, Ban said that any groups or countries that may wield influence over the IS extremists in affected areas should really help so that humanitarian groups can deliver life-saving daily assistance. He also expressed hope that the senseless violence caused by fighting could soon reach to an end.
I hope that they will follow through with their agreement and work together to form a consensual national unity of government and stop the senseless violence of fightings that has affected far too many casualties of civilians. Time is of the essence, and UN remains committed to supporting the Libyan-owned, Libyan-led political process to bring peace and stability to the country. Thank you.
The US and Iranian negotiators raced to fill out a framework for rolling back Iran's nuclear program and punitive US economic sanctions, hoping for enough progress to call in other world powers for the finishing touches on an agreement next week. U.S. Energy Secretary Mr. Moniz and Iranian Atomic Energy Chief Ali Akbar Salehi met again today in the Swiss city of Lausanne to discuss the technical obstacles to a deal. Meanwhile, Iranian Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif said that a framework for a nuclear deal between his country and the U.S. is still yet to be reached, adding that Friday's planned meeting with the foreign ministers of 5 world powers was now unlikely to go ahead. For her part, the spokeswoman of the Iranian Foreign Ministry, Marzia Afkam, said that talks had reached a very complicated and sensitive stage, adding that Iranian nuclear negotiators are doing their best to narrow their differences with world powers and had managed to make progress on technical issues. And moving on to Afghanistan, where at least 7 people were killed and 43 wounded today in a massive car bomb attack on the governor's compound in southern Helmand province. Officials said a suicide bomber detonated a car full of explosives at the back wall of the Helmand governor's compound and the adjacent residence of the head of the provincial council. The governor's spokesman was among several bureaucrats hurt in the attack in the volatile southern city of Lashkargah. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the blast. However, Taliban insurgents have been under pressure from an army offensive in northern Helmand and appear to be retaliating with attacks on the city. Under the patronage of Dr. Abdelaziz Al Farhoud, director of Hawali Health District, the second scientific day for primary health care kicked off at the Holiday Inn Salmiya. The meeting brought together medical experts to discuss a number of issues pertaining to the well-being of society. In addition, lectures and workshops were conducted regarding the latest developments in cancer diagnosis. More on this with our reporter, Renwa Japouri.
Ensuring that society maintains a healthy lifestyle is paramount to health organizations and institutes in Kuwait. And to help society be more aware of what they can do to lead healthier lifestyles, Hawali Health District held its second scientific day for primary healthcare that discussed the latest updates regarding diagnosis in cancer-related diseases.
This is a scientific day, which is the second in Hawali Health area. It's for the doctors to increase their awareness, to guide the patients and people in our health area for screening and to detect the risk factors in the community and to direct the patients accordingly. We want to increase the awareness of the doctors and primary care clinics to be aware of the risk factors in the community and to detect those risk factors from patients, and we manage accordingly by referral, by screening, by directing patients to imaging studies like this.
Today we have Cancer Day. This is a lecture, scientific day for doctors actually. It is to increase the awareness of the doctors regarding how to diagnose and how to achieve problems or cases related to cancer. We are concentrated this year for Cancer Day on colon cancer. They are arranging or they are doing arrangement for easy diagnosis for these diseases, especially the colon cancer. And I think that they will do it starting from May. This is with the head of the ministry regarding each unit in every district from the endocrine system. They will do like maybe a program they have teaching the doctors how to make a screening first, okay, for such diseases like colon cancer.
The lectures that took place discussed diagnosis related to oral cancer, breast clinic in primary care, cervical cancer, prostate cancer, lung cancer, and more. Workshops that took place during the meeting included skin signs in cancer, breast examination, cancer in a CBC, and mammogram.
The objective of today's gathering brought together under one roof medical experts to discuss new developments in cancer diagnosis in order to help society lead a healthier lifestyle. From the Holiday Inn Salmiya, I'm Genna Jaburi reporting to you for the English news.
And in our final item tonight, we move to the local financial news, where the three main indices of Kuwait Stock Exchange ended today's trading session on a red board, with the price index losing 48 points to settle at 6,395 points. The KSX 15 index also dropped by 1 point and reached the level of 1,062 points. The share of the Human Soft Holding Company was the top gainer of the day, while that of the Gulf Finance House suffered the biggest loss. For a chance to see our reports again, please visit our YouTube channel at MOI Kuwait News. Well, with that, we conclude our news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a pleasant time. I'm Mam Pawa. Before we go, we remind you once again of our main top stories. Have a pleasant time and good night. His Highness the Emir receives the newly appointed Minister Ahmed Khalid Al-Jassar, who was sworn in as Minister of Public Works and Minister of Electricity and Water. First Deputy Premier and Foreign Minister holds a video conference with Kuwait's Chief of Mission on the continent on boosting ties with Europe. At least 7 foreign tourists and a Tunisian are killed after gunmen targeted a museum in the Tunisian capital. And Iraqi soldiers and militias are fighting to retake Tikrit city from the so-called Islamic State group as more efforts are exerted to retake Mosul.